All right, we're back at you with another edition of our Talking with Friends podcast. I'm Sports Information Director Levi Converse, and joining me, as always, my assistant Morgan Raspberry. And to get to today, we are pleased to welcome our men's basketball head coach, Dale Faber. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Well, I'm excited to be here. You know, it's old guy like me. It's my first, what's this thing called? Podcast?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so I'm techno savvy.
Yeah. You're coming up. You had to do one of these before, you officially retired. So you did all the other media rounds when you announced it just a couple weeks ago. And that kind of leads us into everything that's going on with all the media coverage and the buzz that your retirement announcement's generating. Has it sunk in yet that this is indeed your last season coaching? I mean, has it kind of become real to you now?
It is, I have my moments, but there's just so much going on with, trying to get the team ready to play and making sure the team we're going to play is able to play. And so there's plenty of distractions as far as not having to dwell on it because, I am sad about some things of the retirement part of it. So, but it's definitely real. So every day I think I'm glad I'm retiring, and then I'm thinking, I don't know whether I'm ready to retire. So it's just I'm just happy it's retired from coaching and not from Friends University.
Yeah, very, very true. You're staying with us as we announced when you made your official retirement announcement. You're staying with us in a fundraising role here within the athletic department. That's great news. And for those that may not be real familiar with or maybe hadn't heard exactly what we're going to be doing, just talk a little bit about the role you're going to have going forward after this year.
I think up to this point, there's been a need, and Dr. Ramsire, met with tons of people about trying to figure out there's definitely a need for a athletic fundraiser with where we have close to 500 student athletes here, and we want it to be the best experience it can be for all those athletes, and funding of that and being able to grow beyond the capital campaign is what we're after, and hopefully it'll in the big picture it'll grow into certain aspects where hopefully we can help in scholarshiping and so forth as we move on.
Yeah, and it's definitely been a strange year for all of us here. And going back to when you first started, could you have ever envisioned going through this type of a season and just all the adjustments that really is not pertain to on the court, but so many adjustments that has to be made on the fly just pertain to just even play a game?
It has been so frustrating, but it makes me appreciate all those who have come before us, where they've gone through wartime and that situation in the United States of America, and this pandemic has where we think we're a little stifled in areas and we can't do this because of the pandemic and that sort of thing. I just look back of all the sacrifices that others have made where it wasn't because of health issues, and this one is to me it's pretty simple. You do these things so you can stay healthy and get as close to a normal lifestyle as possible, and I think you really have to come to grips with that and be willing to sacrifice. And be willing to sacrifice. The neat thing is it's more of a team concept within the total population, where you have to do things for the benefit of others, and that I think is something we can always hold on to.
Yeah, now kind of on to the action into the present. Nice win on the road last night, 20 assists on 30 field goals, 30 makes, moved the ball really well. How would you kind of assess where the team is at the moment?
Well, we'll have to see on Saturday, because I think the only consistent thing about this year and our team is that you can't really count on a whole lot of things that are going to stay consistent. Now, hopefully we are past the biggest barriers of COVID, and we're going to have our whole basketball team together for the rest of the season. I think that's a big part of learning how to play together and what we can do as a team. I think the things we have been stressing all year long have been fragmented just because of practice attendance and game attendance and not having the whole team there. And I think last night, beyond the coaches being able to say, yeah, well, you see, that stuff works, I think our team was able to really come together and understand if we do those things, then we can be a real competitive basketball team even at the top of this league.
You're in your 18th season here and kind of wrapping things up, but you've seen players come through here of all shapes and sizes, all kinds. Who would you say, this might not be an easy answer, there might be several answers, but who would you say would be the most naturally gifted player you've coached here?
Wow. Let's see. Whose toes am I going to step on here by not
that's what we
say?
do.
Yeah, that's how you make the big bucks.
It is.
Levi.
It is.
So,
there might be multiple answers, though. There might be several.
I can give you a bunch more who weren't, if that'll work. But naturally gifted, we've really had a good run here for us of guys naturally gifted scorers who didn't stay that way because they were naturally gifted. They just kept working, and we had a good run with Toby Baxter and Jordan Murdoch. There was always a go-to person. 13-14, Joe Mitchell was player of the year in the nation, and but as far as somebody who could get any type of basket and what he wanted to do, Joe was tough. I mean, 40% from three and 58% overall, 80% from free throw line, and he was, and then led our team in assists too. So, but in 9-10, I think Romar Jones was an unbelievable player, third team All-American for us. Justin Rohn, I believe, got to third team All-American also. So we've had some players come through here that I haven't screwed up too bad. So, but and I think about all of those guys, I think they really understood that for them to be at their best, their team needed to be at their best, and we've been pretty blessed in that way too.
Yeah, Joe Mitchell is a pretty talented player. I mean, to be NAI National Player of the Year, you're standing out, and you definitely reinforced whatever gifts he had here. It was before my time here, but just looking at the numbers that I've done, it was pretty spectacular what he did. I just kind of happened to miss out on it, but it was pretty cool.
I tell everybody that was all coaching because he averaged 32 a game and I don't know, 6 assists and whatever he did. But you look at his previous 2 years and he didn't score a point, So, and that's because he sat out. But I don't, not everybody needs to know that. He was at Wichita State and he had to sit out a year because of the transfer rule and that sort of thing. And then, I just tell everybody I just made him into the National Player of the Year. And
you got the numbers to back it up. And as long as no one asked, it doesn't matter if he played or not. The numbers don't lie. They back up your story.
As my players tell me, that's facts. That's big facts and no cap. Whatever that is. No cap, Levi.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Morgan, she kind of handles the questions for the future. I handle like past and present and what's going on now, and she likes to dig a little deeper in what's going to happen.
It's fun.
She's wanting to be a lawyer. I don't know whether I want to sit across from her.
I know.
Should I take the fifth already?
Well, it's an option. It's an option.
My questions are never bad by any means, but my main questions that pertain to the past kind of are like, so what is probably the either funniest or at least most interesting experience you have had here? It could be literally anything. Like,
I don't know. Every day I search for new ways to amuse myself. So, we've had a good time, and the time sharing with our players and just giving each other a hard time is going to be the hardest part to leave. Is just how we get along, and we can get after each other. But it's amazing. Like, I had after a extremely, I really thought I got into my pregame talk, like really had them pepped up, hyped up, they're ready to go play. And we'd won 4 or 5 games in a row, and I said, now, all y'all now leave through the same door and have your socks pulled up the same way, because, I'm a little superstitious. And then I said, before we go, any of you guys got questions about anything? And I thought I was going to get a question about a ball screen. How are we going to guard this? How are we going to guard that? And the question from one of my geniuses was, Coach, is superstitious one word or 2? So
That's great. That's good.
So
That's one of your random questions.
yeah,
There you go.
That's
we-
a good random question.
we were
like
pretty
that.
we were pretty hyped. Is that one word or 2, Coach?
That just sets the tone for everything that's to come after, I think.
That's awesome. Wow. Okay. I liked that one. That's a good one right there.
Yeah.
I might have to ask my own coach that, And then, so I definitely hear so many stories from all of the players and even former players. I know that Jordan likes to talk a lot about you and tell me a lot of stories, and it's kind of funny. And then I also had the great pleasure of sitting next to you because I was working the stat book with Mr. Levi.
Oh,
What is your probably, like, that you can think of, what is probably the best, like, response or argument that you have ever had with a ref?
that's Mr. Ref.
Oh, Mr. Ref, Mr. Ref.
I can tell you they don't respond well when you call them Junior. I do know that, and I think I got to kind of maybe you can probably put in your own words here, but I asked one of them one night if he could give me a technical for what I was thinking, and he says, "No, I don't think I can." And I said, "Good, because I think you're not doing so well," is what I said. So I think you're not doing so well, or you suck. I think that's somebody may have said I said that, but I don't think I did.
Did he get the technical?
No. All I got was a few laughs out of that. So
There you go.
it must have been an older guy, because
I-
the new guys wouldn't put
I
up with
remember
that
you telling
stuff.
that story, and me and Rob was there, and we were talking the day you announced your retirement. We was just talking, but I don't remember if I heard the conclusion,
Yeah.
if you actually got a technical for it or not.
Coach White loves that one.
Yeah.
Because I usually try to get them prepared where you guys listen to this one, it's going to be good.
There you go.
That's one of the things I'm going to miss the most, besides the coaching, is the interaction with the refs, because you and their reactions both sometimes are just priceless.
Yeah.
And they really make the game fun to cover.
Well, they, in all honesty, with the referees, I really respect their patience with me, because I just, sometimes I don't know what they're looking at, and I try to get that information, and sometimes they don't feel like sharing, but there's probably been more technicals I should have gotten than anywhere close to the number that I have when I'm expressing my opinion. And I know I'm right. That's the thing. It's just
no doubt.
I would never be wrong. I thought I was wrong once, but I was mistaken.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I mean, we're definitely gonna for sure miss that. And then we already know like your future plans for here at Friends at least. What like outside of Friends? Because I want to say I remember you said that you have like a granddaughter.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Young Tegan, she is. She's a dandy too. She's got a wit about her sometimes that.
So she's like a grandpa.
Well, I'm blaming it on her mother because her mother is. She believes she's quite witty. And I try to explain that it's all about timing, but she's. It'll be fun. I just want to. That's the worst thing about this virus thing is I just can't see her enough. Like it's still because I just it'll be fun to get back together and spend more time with her. But she is quite a dandy, that's for sure. So, but it'll be fun. I don't know what I'm going to do though. Like Zion Fralin told me last year that, Coach, you got to get a hobby.
Yeah.
I told him, I said my hobby was chewing on him.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I can attest to that, and I could probably even name a couple more names that could go on. There.
I tell you, the biggest appreciation for all my players is for them allowing me to be myself, and I think that's probably the biggest reason on how come it's worked, because I have my ways, and it's contrary to what goes on in most people's lives right now. Is basketball is different because most stuff on social media and everything, young people are hearing things that they want to hear, or reading things about them, and sometimes I speak the truth, and sometimes it's just a rub, and my guys have let me be me, and that's important, and I do appreciate that. That's what made it work.
Yeah. Well, talking about hobbies, I think I remember one hobby you had, my first media day, my first KCAC media day. You were talking about, you probably remember this, you told a lot of funny stuff up there that day. It was my first one. But you talked about how you're trying to relate, to the guys, this generation, and your hobby, they ask you what you done this weekend, you say, well, I'm chilling on Netflix.
Yeah.
And so, remember that?
Yeah.
I'm right.
Yeah. And apparently I shouldn't have said that because I didn't know like the urban definition of whatever that is.
Yeah.
So I guess, and that's why I'm always. I get there, but with all the new stuff, I'm a little late and maybe misplaced on what it is.
Yeah.
Like they did have to explain to me a couple weeks ago. Like I said, what does that mean, cap? I didn't know, no cap. And I guess that means you're not lying now or something. I don't know, but it's. I try to keep up and act like I'm real hip. Is that a word still?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hip and hop.
Yeah.
I'm more country and western than I am hip and hop.
No, I feel you on
I
that.
feel that.
I am too. I am too. No. Well, I mean, I think you'll have some time now to Netflix and chill. But I think the meaning of what you were saying was related to everybody, and I think it served its purpose.
I don't know what I'm going to do, but as I found out through 2 or 3 quarantines that I've been in, I only want to be home doing nothing when it's my choice. I don't like anybody to tell me that you gotta stay home, and so I don't envision me just falling in love with the television set. So that's I do like to to hang out with people, and it's been good. It's been good, but I gotta find a hobby. I mean, I haven't played around at golf since I took this job, and I think the golf courses probably appreciate that, where I haven't torn them up too much. But you know, maybe
Their time's coming. Their day's coming now. Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I really don't. But
Well,
I know I'm going to have some time on my hands,
yeah.
and that does scare me
Yeah.
because I haven't ever had it, and maybe that was by choice. I don't know, but we're about to find out here in
Yeah.
a couple months.
Yep, yep. Well, I can say this, the reaction that your retirement got, I mean, the kind of quotes that the former players put in, former assistant coaches, former, students around here, the whole campus, the whole community, it just really was a good reflection, I thought, and it was fun to go back and read through it all, because it really blew up pretty quick, and it just kind of, it gives a really good reflection of the type of impact that you've had on everybody that you've coached and everybody that's come around here and been a part of the program or athletic department, and it's a really good way to go out, is to really know and let people acknowledge just how much of an impact you've made on them.
Well, I was overwhelmed with it, and I told Rob if I'd known that, I was that good a guy, I would have quit a lot earlier. So it was, it really humbled me because I'd never thought along those lines. I mean, problem with being the head coach is most people don't like it. So to hear all those good things at that point was humbling to me, and so appreciated. It's and most of the people that spoke on my behalf, I'll forget all the money they owe me now. So maybe that's how come they were saying good things about me. So, but no, it was a good deal, and my family and I were it was good. It was good.
Well, we appreciate everything you've done here, and I personally appreciate the one day that, and you probably remember this, that I had not had lunch. I don't even know if I had breakfast. It was just a really busy day, and we joked a little bit, and then about an hour later, you come in with a package of beef jerky for me, and I downed that thing pretty quick. You remember that? You brought in beef jerky. I hadn't ate all day, and that come in handy.
Well, did I bring you anything to wash it down with?
Maybe. I don't remember. I just know I had the thing I was wanting was beef jerky, and that's what I got.
It might still be in your car. You better look at the back.
Yeah. It could be. It could be. But that was good. That was good.
Beef jerky, that's a great thing. It's a tremendous amount of protein in that, and it won't spoil no matter what.
No, it was really good. The whole package. I was starving. It was good.
We'll tell everybody it was homemade, because I do like to make beef jerky. But
there you go.
I think I cheated.
It might have been homemade.
Yeah.
It might have been. Now that I think of it, I don't remember. We'll let it go. We'll just assume it was.
Kyler thinks he can cook, but I could put him to shame.
There you
on
go.
That stuff. So.
And for everyone that knows here too, your wife's a pretty good cook too.
Ooh,
she brings a snack up to the game, and it's good.
She's that baker, where mine, I couldn't tell you a recipe. I just throw it in there. Boy, that tastes good.
Yeah.
You can't do that with baking, I found out, because I thought, well, she can cook. I can cook. I can bake something. No. I made some sort of pie once and had scrambled eggs in it. I don't know how I did it, but you're supposed to put the eggs in slowly or something so they didn't cook all. So it turned out pretty nasty. So I watch enough cooking shows now, so I stick with the savory and not the sweet. So.
Well, you make stuff here, but speaking of harvest, maybe that's something you can do now is to perfect the baking part of it now.
There you go.
No, that would be indoors, right?
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it would be. It would be.
I suppose I could do some barbecue bacon, but
there you go.
That's I just work my magic on the deck, Levi. That's where it all happens.
Yeah. Hey, nothing wrong with that. That's some of the best kind.
Sometimes people forget I'm even out there. There's nothing wrong with that either.
No, there's not. There's not. All right, Coach. Well, thanks for stopping by, and good luck.
I actually
You got
have
one more thing?
I have
One
one
more.
more question, and then I'm done, I promise. So, for the future coach to come in, I'm not sure, I don't remember, actually, if you're in the interview process, I would assume, but at the same, okay, no?
No, I am
okay.
not.
Well, for the future of Friends going into a new coach, new season, new everything, what would be some final words that you would kind of want, or final advice or wisdom that you would kind of like to pass on to for the next generation?
I think the biggest thing for the new coach coming in here is just to realize as quickly as possible that the administration, the players, everybody here wants to help. And sometimes as coaches, our ego will get in the way where we're just going to, we're going to do this, we're going to do it my way and everything. But I think we are all on the same page of what we want to do athletically here, and the new coach's got to come in and be himself. But there's nothing wrong with letting some people help you too. So, and I think that would make for a longer relationship, because the problem with a lot of coaches and myself was probably at the top is finding enough time to create a balance, and I don't know that I did a good job of that, but it wasn't because of what goes on at Friends University. I think and I believe everybody here, from President Carey on down, wants to get things done, and I think it's important that we don't put ourselves as coaches off here on an island like it's us against everybody. That's not the case, and that's what I want to help with too in the new role is what can we do to get everybody to the top of the mountain, and not just one program or anything like that, but everybody's here to work together and awful supportive. What a great bunch to work with, and I've been pretty well taken care of here in my time, and hopefully I can take care of some others now that we're moving into a new role.
All right, good words for the person that's going to follow you. I've got big shoes to fill, obviously, but we still got a lot to go this year. And Saturday night, I almost said tomorrow, we're used to this on Friday. Saturday night, back at home, Abilene University will be here, 7 p.m. tip time. So, Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck on Saturday. Good luck the rest of the year. We'll talk to you again probably pretty soon.
Appreciate it. And my first podcast is over, and
You made it.
boy,
It was good, yep.
I feel good about it.
Yep. You've now conquered every media adventure there is, I think, isn't there? Haven't you? Pretty much. What's left to do?
I don't know. I don't know TikTok. Do I need to dance or anything? Or
I don't know that.
All right.
I have an account, and that's about all I have on
Well,
it. So I can't help you on that one.
We get to a national tournament, I'll dance for that.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Okay.
Let's-
Well, we'll hold you to that.
Yeah.
We'll do it. We'll do it
We
live.
can do it.
We
can do it.
We got the recording of you saying this, so
Yep.
I mean.
Yep.
No problem. But you got to be my partner. You better hang on.
Oh yes,
All right.
it's happening.
So we'll get a little swing going there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We'll have some fun. We'll have some fun down there. All right. Thanks a lot, Coach. Appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Falcons will be in action again Saturday night, 7 p.m. start time against Abilene University. And again, per the Sedgwick County order, no fans are allowed. But as always, you can watch it all live on our live stream portal, stretchinternet.com/friends, 7 p.m. tip time. So Falcons look to make it 2 in a row.
Yep.
All right. That was head coach Dale Faber. Appreciate him. He's now sitting at 296 career wins.
Wow.
4 away from after last night's win, only 4 away now from the big 300 mark.
There we go.
So, getting close. Could shave another one off on Saturday,
Yeah.
potentially.
Pressure makes me fresher.
We're counting down.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Coach.
Yeah, no. Also, women's basketball are going to be in action as well before the men not tomorrow, dang it. Just like you said, we're so used to doing this on Friday. On Saturday evening, what time is their tip-off?
5 p.m.
5 p.m. 5 p.m. tip-off. So hopefully we can interact with you guys and make sure to use the hashtag Talons Up in order to interact with all of us. We'll keep constantly checking our media as we're also making sure that you guys are getting live updates on all social media as well. And if you cannot tune in or whatever the case may be, but you never know. Also, last weekend, baseball, huge wins against Peru State. Won the whole entire 3-game series, literally.
Yep.
It was a huge sweep, huge win. And in the third game, man, it was a close run in the third game. The first and the second game, Peru State ended up coming back in the first game for a little bit, but still our Falcons definitely pulled out the win, and that was amazing because it was cold. And then Saturday, it was even colder.
It got colder somehow.
It was awful sitting there. So I'm kind of glad that they won because it made it somewhat worth it, right?
Yeah, walk-off win. It was a walk-off win on the first game. They trailed 1-0 until the bottom of the sixth, got a run in the bottom of the sixth, tied it, and won at the bottom of the seventh. And it gave head coach Adam Nicias his 500th career win.
Yes, which they celebrated.
Big time. Yeah.
And that was an amazing accomplishment for him. We had some really big key players. In the first game, who was it that ended up hitting the home run in that?
Oh, Jerry Berard had a home run. He homered, and he had a really good game the second game as well.
He had a phenomenal game. Bryce Anderson, huge at-bat win, and then also behind the plate, amazing catcher. He had a few great stops for us. Valeni, he had a really good pitching streak there in the second game.
Valeni de los Santos, he pitched well the second game.
He pitched really well.
Pitched well. Austin Eggleston got a save, and then he was the winning pitcher in the series finale.
Yes, he was.
Scoreless innings, pitched really well each time he was out there. So Falcons 3-0.
Yep.
And head coach Adam Nicias getting his 500th career win. So a really, really good weekend for the Falcons.
They will also be in action on tomorrow, actually. They'll be in action tomorrow and Saturday. Hopefully, potentially might be postponed due to rain, but who knows at this point in time because this is just all around a crazy year anyway. So we're all ready to go for that. But they will be in action again this weekend. And volleyball, they had a game down in Oklahoma.
Goodwell, Oklahoma. Yeah.
In Goodwell, Oklahoma, it was Northwest State, Oklahoma.
Northwest Oklahoma State and Goodwell. Yep.
Thank you. Sadly, that was a loss for them. So, kind of had a rocky start, but however, and the York game ended up getting postponed for yesterday. However, I lost my train of thought. That is awesome. But anyways, so volleyball will be in action though on Saturday, I believe against Avila.
Yes.
But they're going to Avila.
Yes, at Avila on Saturday. And they're also, it's a tri-match, and Kansas Wesleyan should also be there as well.
So huge games coming into the weekend for a lot of the Falcons this time coming around. But anyways, all around, it's been so far a pretty great week, and excited to go into this weekend.
Yeah, and baseball tomorrow we'll be facing Texas A&M, Texarkana.
Yes.
It's a doubleheader starting at noon that we'll have live on our portal.stretchinternet.com/friends. We can find all of our live home events. And again, as you said, Saturday there's rain in the forecast, so kind of everybody keep an eye on that. It's not been postponed yet. That is set for a noon doubleheader as well on Saturday. But again, just keep an eye on the weather. Keep an eye on our website, social media. We'll let you know if there's any changes to it. But yeah, a lot of stuff going on. And
then also just as like a semi shout out, I guess as well. Cheer also had a match here last weekend on Saturday.
Yes, you read my mind. Good job. That's what I was getting ready to get to. Good job.
Cheer. Yep. Whoop whoop.
They had their day of duels.
I don't know the results of that, however, but I'm pretty sure you do.
They had their day of duels here on Saturday, and they finished fourth in the event, which is a very good outcome, very good showing. Head coach Jill Finsky and graduate assistant Courtney Simpson, they do a really, really nice job with the team this year. And just today, in case you missed it, we just released it today, but Cheer is actually in the top 10 in the NAIA rankings this week. So very good.
That's awesome.
Yes, very good job, very good
Bingo.
performance for them. They're going to be in Salina this weekend at the KWU Invitational. But very good start to the season for Cheer. And also track and field we released this week. They are both, and both men's and women's indoor track and field is in the top 5 in the nation.
Wow.
This week in the debut NAIA poll and the debut USTFCCAA poll, the U.S. Track and Field Cross Country Coach Association poll. They are both in the top 5 in that.
Which, in all honesty, that really doesn't surprise me that much because our men have usually been really well every single year that I've been here, at least, which is equivalent to yours. But definitely the women's team as well. Like, oh my goodness, they're doing a phenomenal job, and I'm hoping that they can continue doing that because they were like national champions my freshman and sophomore year.
They had some national champion event winners. Yes, and this is the highest ranking for the men in program history.
That's just amazing.
Highest national ranking. And for the women, it's their second highest national ranking. Mm-hmm. So both teams under head coach Henry Brown and assistant coach Jason Parr and their staff, they are really got things rolling to start the indoor season.
Wow. That's amazing. Congrats to track on that. That's an awesome accomplishment right there.
It is.
Oh, man. So that's it for all Falcon athletics at the moment. Cause
that's a lot going on.
That's a lot going on, though.
A lot going on campus. A lot going on campus. Again, watch everything on our live stream. We can't have fans as of now, but you can watch everything. Baseball tomorrow at noon, Saturday at noon, weather permitting, and basketball. There's also a JV basketball game, women's basketball game at 2:30 p.m. versus Heston College. That's also available on our live stream, so you can watch Falcon athletics pretty much all weekend.
Wow. So busy weekend.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. Love that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So we don't have any NFL games this week, but we do have a little bit to talk about coming up. Obviously, the Super Bowl is set. The big game is set. It will be Kansas City and Tampa Bay.
Excuse me.
Kansas City winning 38-24 over Buffalo in the AFC Championship game. Tampa Bay getting to the Super Bowl with a 31-26 win at Green Bay. Tom Brady going for his 7th Super Bowl championship. It's his 10th Super Bowl appearance overall. Kansas City in it back-to-back years. So you've got it's a fascinating quarterback matchup, Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes, because you've got Tom Brady, who is recognized as the GOAT currently. Then you got Patrick Mahomes, who's coming up with a historic start to his career, and he could definitely be challenging that at some point down the road. So it's a big game for both, obviously.
Yeah, and in all honesty, another huge accomplishment. I mean, what else doesn't Tom Brady have, already? But of course, he didn't have this one until just now. He gets the home field advantage because the Super Bowl is at Tampa Bay this year. So, I mean, what else can this man not do? What can this man not do? Exactly. And it's still kind of iffy on the Brady Bunch. I'm not really a Brady Bunch fan. But, however, that is actually kind of a cool accomplishment for him. And, I mean, I guess he does hold his title to the GOAT pretty well. Yep. He has a tight grip on that. So,
yep. First ever team to host the Super Bowl is going to be Tampa Bay. And you would just know it would be Tom Brady that would be doing that.
Of course it would be Tom Brady that does it, But that's huge. That's amazing. So, even if he doesn't actually win the Super Bowl, at least he can say that, he did at least accomplish something historical in this moment in time because, this is already a historical year in general. But just to make it even more historical on the end of 2020, right? Going into what better way to do it than just Super Bowl, it's mine at my home field, First team to ever do it, let's do it.
We'll get into really deep analysis next week, but we're going to hear from you too. Obviously, that's going to be our game of the week next week. No questions asked on that. But it's going to be a big one. And we're also going to have, and we'll give you more details next week, but we're going to have a special Super Bowl podcast on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. We're going to have all kinds of guests and student athletes hopefully will join us, and staff. We're going to have a lot of fun kind of predicting, getting everybody's predictions and analysis to see who it comes out on top. It should be fun.
Yep. Fun times, fun times. What else is going on in the world right now? I mean, there is the NBA, but I don't know. I don't really know about the NBA too much. I'm sorry. I'm horrible at following it. I need to be better. But, so what's going on in the NBA world?
Well, the defending champion Lakers are atop the league standings, along with the Utah Jazz, Los Angeles Clippers. Philadelphia 76ers lead the East. The Oklahoma City Thunder got another big win last night on the road. They are currently tied for the play-in spot.
There you go.
And they traded a lot of players in the offseason. A lot of people thought they were rebuilding, and they are definitely rebuilding. But they're having a little more success than people thought. So, as a Thunder fan, that's good. That's
awesome.
good.
There you go.
A lot of people thought they were going to get a really, really high draft pick, which they still could, depending on how the lottery shakes out if they don't make the playoffs. But they're right in that mix as of now. So, they overachieved last year, made the playoffs, tied for fourth in the West. They're not quite that high this year, but still overachieving what they were supposed to be. So,
well, that's good. There you go.
We'll take it. We'll take it.
Pretty much. I was like, and I don't even want to talk about my Rockets because,
Yeah.
It's just not right now.
Yep.
Houston right
Well,
now. I don't know what we're doing.
And Houston, that kind of leads into another little bit of NFL news that's off the field. That's not Super Bowl related, but
hasn't officially been announced.
Today it was.
It was today.
Today, officially announced Deshaun Watson has requested a trade from the Houston Texans. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to get traded. He's not traded yet. He's still in Houston, but he has officially requested a trade from Houston.
I figured he was going to wait at least a little bit longer to see who they're going to hire, but
they did. They have hired a coach now.
I thought so, but I wasn't sure.
David Culley has been hired from the Baltimore Ravens, assistant head coach in Baltimore. So he is the new head coach at Houston, but apparently it was not enough to sway Deshaun Watson. So he is still requesting a trade out of Houston.
Man, okay, so now literally the only team right now that has not done anything super drastic in the Houston area is the Houston Dynamos, and that's it.
Everybody else is having
Everybody else is having such a tough time right now.
Yeah. Of course, the Rockets traded James Harden. The Astros, they did re-sign Michael Brantley, lost George Springer. So we'll see what they have to do.
I would prefer George Springer over Michael Brantley any day. I'm sorry. I do greatly appreciate Michael Brantley. I think he's a phenomenal player, but, I mean, Springer, come on. It's Springer Dinger. Amazing center field, outfielder, whole 9 yards, could play anything, and then just phenomenal hitter. And, of course, he goes to Toronto.
Yep, he's with the Blue Jays now. So the Astros are going to look a lot different next year.
The Astros are definitely going to look different. But
they did. They was one game away from the World Series last year. For whatever it's worth, they were one game away from the World Series.
And honestly, maybe with everything that's been going on, I hate to bring this back up, but I mean, with the whole cheating scandal and everything, and not that people have forgotten, because definitely no one's forgotten it, but I don't think anybody will ever forget it now. But I think that them coming into this new year, even though that they lost one of their big key players, but I'm sure that they're going to gain a couple more. And also, we've lost Justin Verlander for a little bit. We probably won't have him back until the very end of the season, which is kind of sad.
And that's optimistically speaking.
And that's optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it'll be okay. So I'm hoping that the Astros can at least get maybe a couple more pitchers or something, because I think we're fine fielding-wise. It's just we just need some more pitchers, because hitting-wise, I'm not too worried about either. And I think that now that the whole cheating scandal's kind of not derailed or defused or anything. It's not fizzled out. But I mean, I think that more teams are kind of, okay, we got our shot at them, cool. So I feel going into this new year, even though we have lost a key player, I think that they'll be coming back a little bit stronger. I think that might, outside of our soccer team, the Dynamos, I think that the Astros might be still coming back strong coming into this new year, but at the same time, they're definitely going to struggle a little bit. And that's kind of sad.
They could, and they were under 500. Remember last year in the regular season, but then they really started playing well in the playoffs. They played with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder.
Yep.
and come all the way back and was one game away from the World Series with a rematch against the Dodgers, what it would have been. And but yeah, Justin Verlander out at least the majority of next year with Tommy John surgery. It's a 12 to 14 month process, so you're looking at him back at earliest late next season at the earliest. So the Astros, they've not done a whole lot else in free agency besides losing George Springer and re-signing Michael Brantley, but we'll see how they take shape.
I'm telling you, this Houston needs to get their stuff together. You know, the only thing that we fully have together is probably the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, and that's about it.
That's an awesome event, though.
You know what? It's so amazing.
I've watched that 2 or 3 times. I've never been there, but I've watched it 2 or 3 times.
Oh, it's the best feeling when you're right there at the Houston Rodeo. Like, it's just so much fun.
I've watched it live a couple times, and my dad's a big rodeo fan, and I kind of like watching it too, but he's a big rodeo fan. I love watching, country music concerts and stuff. And the times we watched it, the first time we watched it, Clay Walker headlined the concert.
Yeah.
And we had that on video, that was incredible. It was sold out.
Yeah.
It was really good atmosphere. And the next time we watched it, George Strait headlined it.
Yes.
And that was crazy. I even had a CD, a live version of George Strait's concert at the Houston Astrodome.
Yep.
And with a livestock rodeo.
So
that's an awesome event. That's incredible.
Yes.
And they always have big names concert there, and the radio is always obviously good too. So,
but what's good about the Houston Rodeo too is that they try to actually contribute to some of the they're still big names obviously, but like Aaron Watson, a lot of people have heard of him, but a lot of people in Texas definitely have heard of him. But like even outside of Texas, like whenever he was at the Houston Rodeo, it was like a huge deal, and he's one of my all-time favorite country artists just because of how he is and his personality, and his music is just absolutely amazing. But that was a huge deal for him, and that was probably one of the biggest concerts that he's ever performed at, and it was sold out.
Yep.
It was literally sold out, which is so awesome to hear, like kind of like the underdog. Like he actually has a song called The Underdog, and like to be the underdog of everybody else was absolutely amazing to finally be there. So
I have heard of him. I don't know if that means anything or not, but I have. I know
we have
who he
now,
is,
right?
Yep. Yeah. I know him before now. I've heard of him. Yep.
There you go. But so it's kind of nice to see that. I mean, like we've even had like Selena there.
Really?
Oh yeah, we had Selena there. Heck
I did not know that. No, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I know there's always a lot of big names that come, but.
Well, I mean, when Selena was still here, she actually did perform at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
Know that. That's cool. Mm-hmm.
We've had some really amazing people there, and we've had it's a really fun time, not gonna lie. So rodeo, probably my all-time favorite sport to watch. NFR, so much fun to watch. That's like the national finals rodeo. Like that's the one you want to be at, unless you're a bull rider, then you want to be at the PBR. But I mean, close enough, right? Mm-hmm. Close enough. So it's just a fun sport to watch. It's just So I think that's about the only thing in Houston right now we actually have going for us at the moment. Oh, jeez. It's going to be an interesting ride.
It will be.
It'll be interesting.
It will be.
I feel like I talk way too much about Houston. So what else is going on now?
Well, randomness stuff.
Randomness? All right.
And I'm looking forward to our random topic today.
So, our random topic for today, of course, it's got to be food related, right?
Right.
It's got to be food related. Because, it's just fun. Who doesn't love food? So, have you ever, asked the question? I know that I contemplate this all the time, and it drives my boyfriend nuts. Drives him nuts. It got so bad that I just started telling him Whataburger, which is 2.5 hours down the road. So, I mean, obviously we're not going there. But when you ask somebody, hey, what do you want to eat? Where do you want to go to eat? And they're like, I don't know. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Any of those things.
Any of those things, right?
Yeah.
So, we have officially come up with a great idea. We're going to franchise this, okay? The I Don't Care restaurant. And it, like, literally, or we haven't officially, like, came up with the whole entire name, but we're going to have literally a restaurant that its name is I Don't Care, or It Doesn't Matter, or whatever we end up coming up with, you know? And it's going to be, like, a buffet kind of style. It'll be, like, the Golden Corral of everything. Like, it's going to be a smorgasbord of literally every single, like, type of food that you can think of. So, like, Italian, Mexican, Tex-Mex even, you know? Like, we can have 2 separate types of things if we want to. We can have some barbecue in there. We're going to have, like, Americano, you know? Like, with the cheeseburgers and the hot dogs. Like, who doesn't like that stuff, you know? And, of course, going to have, like, salads, and then you got to have a bunch of desserts, right? From just all over. We're going to have all kinds of food there because, in all honesty, if you don't care, well, now you can have everything at the I Don't Care restaurant.
I thought this was a phenomenal idea when you told me this yesterday.
I think this is a perfect idea.
Yeah.
And who would have known that Luke gave me the inspiration for it?
I know.
See, this is why me and Luke are so connected.
Yeah, you and Luke's connected to. It would have been Luke that would serve as the inspiration for somewhere to eat, because Luke is the type that he will plan his next meal before the next meal, before the current meal. Like right when we're getting ready to eat breakfast. What's for lunch?
Yep.
Then eat lunch. What's for dinner? No. Eat dinner. What's for breakfast tomorrow? No.
Yep.
He plans ahead. Like he plans one meal ahead.
Yeah.
Every time. So that would be it's appropriate that he would serve as the inspiration for your idea.
I know, right? And
Yeah,
then, I mean, like, all he had to say was like, "Oh, it doesn't matter." I was like,
Yep.
"This is happening!" Like,
Yep.
Huge epiphany.
Yep.
We are going to create the I Don't Care or It Doesn't Matter restaurant. So
Yep.
that whenever
Someone
you go
said
and
it.
you ask somebody, hey, what do you want to go eat? Oh, I don't care.
There you go.
There you go. We're going to I Don't Care then.
Yep, that's perfect.
I think it's great.
You're gonna franchise it.
Franchising this idea.
It'll be the biggest restaurant in the country.
It's going to be a major restaurant. You know, it's going to be like even bigger than Golden Corral. It's going to be even bigger than like Red Lobster or whatever, you know, like whatever else restaurant is out there. This is going to top it just because it's got everything.
Yep.
Not just one thing, everything. For all of those people that don't care.
Yeah, and it's a shame we just now come up with this, because if we'd come up with it like a month sooner, we could have already got a Super Bowl advertisement and paid, like, the $1 million
right?
for a 30-second ad.
Yeah, because who just has $1 million?
Yeah, but we could have done it. We could have paid and had an ad run during the Super Bowl during this to advertise our restaurant.
For like 10 seconds or 10-second ad.
Yeah.
Super Bowl. Oh man.
Why not?
That's great. That would have been perfect. So that was perfect right there. But yeah, no, so I think that this would be a really great idea. But I want to hear your thoughts on this. See, please let me know your thoughts on this. Like, would you actually eat at the I Don't Care restaurant? Please let me know with our hashtag Talking with Friends, because we want to know, what do you want to eat? You know? And then also just tell me what you want to even have at the restaurant. Like, would you eat at it? And then what do you want to eat there? You know, like, what all do you want there? Because we're going all out.
It comes with everything. You can't be disappointed at this restaurant. If you want to go to I Don't Care restaurant, it will have everything that you want.
Everything.
So there's no need to go anywhere else.
No need to go anywhere else. But then again, if you can't think of where you want to go and you're just like, I don't care.
There you go.
You got a place to go now.
Can't beat it.
This is a great idea, I'm telling you.
It's a game changer idea. Is what it is. It's a brilliant idea you come up with.
I come up with some really great ideas, you know.
Yeah.
Just.
We got to see this through. We got.
It's like my specialty, just coming up with like random ideas that are like random, just topics in general. Like, I call them my squirrel moments.
Yeah.
I love calling my squirrel moments, like just random ideas that end up actually getting a lot of talk, or just like, or I just really do hardcore contemplate it all the time, you know? Like,
yeah.
It's just fun. Randomness is fun.
Yep. This is one of the better random topics that you've come up with. I like this.
Thank you.
This is something that could actually happen and work, and
I know, right?
Yeah. This could catch on. Yeah.
This could seriously catch on. But anyways, let us know your thoughts. Again, hashtag Talking with Friends. Yes.
So we're going to franchise it, and if anyone out there has the same idea, you're going to have to buy it from us. Now,
Yes.
right now, we would take if you wanted to give $1 billion
Yes.
to buy us out on it, we would take it probably, but that'd be the minimum probably
Yep,
price.
that's the minimum,
It's going to happen. If you want to give $1 billion, then that's your choice. But
Yes.
we would take that if we.
We'll take that.
Yeah, split it up. But
And you know what? And I think that this should be like really cost friendly too. You know, like I think it shouldn't be like extremely expensive because like whenever you go to Golden Corral, like you have to pay like $30 each or whatever. I mean, unless
Yep.
it's like a kid, but like it's pretty
Yeah.
expensive. So I'm like, okay, how can I think of like a cheaper alternative? Like maybe like 15 instead.
Right,
Or like
right.
closer to like 10, like $12 each. Like I feel like you'd get more people to come if it was a little bit cheaper. Plus, I mean, I know that a lot of people in relationships, and especially like when you're younger and stuff like that, like no one really knows what they want to eat, right? So we'd be able to get a younger crowd there.
yeah,
I think it'd be a great idea.
all ages.
All ages.
You know how some toys say ages 4 to 104?
Yep.
That's our restaurant.
This is all ages.
That's it. That's us. 4 to 104.
Actually, 0 to 104. Like, come on, we can have some
Yeah,
baby
even
stuff
babies
in
come
there.
in. Yeah.
Babies
Yeah.
can come in occasionally.
Yeah. They can come in. Yeah. Anyone.
Anyone can come.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
All right. So we're going to keep talking. This ain't the last time you hear about this. We'll keep giving you updates on what we're
We will mention
doing.
this again. Don't worry.
I Don't Care restaurant is coming to a town near you.
Yes.
So there you have it.
If you don't know what to eat, all you have to do is I don't care. I don't know. Coming
There
up
you
with
go.
a jingle.
That's a good little jingle already.
All
Yeah,
right.
we're in the business, advertising business
Oh
now.
yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
I'm sure no one wanted to hear me sing just now, but that was fun.
It come off good. It was spontaneous.
Spontaneous.
You never know what you're going to hear on Talking with Friends podcast.
never
It's
know.
spontaneous. We just say what comes to our mind.
We'll come up with a jingle and we'll let you guys know on that one too.
Yep. We got a good start on it though.
Oh, yeah.
Good start. All right, we got a devotion today. No.
I actually sadly do not have one today because it's you know it's been a rough couple days and
Yeah.
just I know it shouldn't I still should have done it. I know I should have. It's just instead of like actually physically writing all of like my devotions down, just kind of listened, and I think I zoned out a couple times on accident because just so much is going on. But I don't know. It's yeah.
Yep.
Kind of don't know where to go on the whole train right at this moment.
Yep.
But,
Yep. Well, I think we're all that way sometimes, and I think sometimes the best moments, spiritual moments that we have, is when we are facing a little bit of, a little bit of uncertainty, maybe, a little bit of, I don't want to say change, but just, you're kind of at the cross. We're all kind of at a crossroads sometimes with things, and it's been different the last couple of days for sure, and.
I will say though, like Monday, because like for practice and stuff, we do have like a weekly devotional thing with our team chaplains, and it's actually really cool. Last time we had to bring in a rock and tell our story about it, so we're kind of focused around stories at the moment, and like your narrative, which was actually a huge topic in our Faith at Friends class as well last semester. They definitely focused on your narrative in life and your narrative spiritually as well, like your spiritual narrative with God and how your own narrative, like you are your own story. What is your story? What would you want your story to be? And it was actually kind of like empowering to talk about that also just as a team instead of in the classroom and stuff like that, just because one, we're learning more about each other, and then also we had to write about something that happened in our lives that it could have been negative, it could have been a positive thing, most of us, I believe, wrote down kind of like a negative time because we had to think of a time where we needed God probably the most. And then, but at the same time, like, look past the negative experience of it and think what were the blessings that ended up coming out of it. And so that's always, like, a really good spiritual exercise that I would recommend for people to do.
Yeah, for sure.
And stuff, so. And right now I'm kind of going through one of those, so me and my boyfriend's family at the moment, and it's been tough, but you know what? We're going to make it through, and we're going to end up finding the blessings out of all of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's when God blesses us the most and uses us the most, is when we're kind of fully relying on Him in times that we don't know exactly where to turn. And I found a verse that kind of, in a devotion, that kind of deals with some uncertainty. It's in Joshua 1:6, and it says, "Be strong and courageous, for you are the one who will lead these people to possess all the land I swore to their ancestors I would give them." So he's speaking to Joshua as, Joshua has got a long road ahead, but God's saying He is going to give, and you're the one that's going to do this. Mm-hmm. And God goes on to say, just as I was with Moses, I'm going to be with you. So that's something that we can really take heart in. Just as God was with Moses and with David and with Daniel and with Paul and with John and all this, He's going to be with us too. And there was a certain task that in this verse, there were certain tasks that Joshua had to do, but God was promising He'll be with him, but he was the one that had to do it. So God has something, and sometimes it may be big, sometimes it may be small, or it may seem small. Nothing's ever small with God, but it may seem small to us. But God has something for us to do that only we're going to be able to do.
Yes.
And the only thing that we have to rely on is Him, that He's going to be in there and walk us through it.
Yes.
So there's something out there you're going to do. There's something out there I'm going to do that only you're able to do.
Mm-hmm.
And God will be with you to do it.
Yep. I always think that He is right there with me through every single challenge that I personally go through. I mean, there was a point in time where I didn't think that way, but especially since I've been here at Friends, definitely has changed my perspective on that, and I've definitely grown more in this situation. But sometimes it can be really hard. Like, we're not saying that it's easy, like, trying to remember that Jesus and God are right there with us through the whole entire thing. Even though sometimes it doesn't feel like they are, they definitely are right there with us. But like I said, like, you just kind of have to go look at the negative time, and go and look at a negative time in your life, and then think about the blessings that ended up surrounding because of that negative, Like, just kind of think of a time when you thought, oh man, like, it was probably the worst time ever, but going back and thinking about that, what are all the blessings or positive impacts of that negative? Like, what came out of it? And that'll help you through all the uncertain times in your life, because you remember that God is there with you every single step of the way, even if it doesn't feel like it or seem like it. So
yeah,
that's always a great verse.
Yeah, it is, and it's good, especially with what we've been all going through, and God's with us. It may not always seem like it, but He's definitely there with us, and going to guide us through whatever we have to do.
Yeah.
So that's good. All right, you got anything more to add? No.
Not that I can really think of outside of, I hope that everybody here has an absolutely amazing and blessed weekend, because God is here with us, and He continues to bless each and every single one of us every single day of our lives. And just remember that He is here, and I just ask that you continue to have faith in Him and just try and stay positive throughout the week. So I hope that everybody has a super amazing and blessed weekend, and going into next week.
Yeah. We're doing this on Thursday, so tomorrow, Friday, we'll have baseball at noon, and Texas A&M Texarkana will be here, so tune in live on our Stretch Internet, portal.stretchinternet.com/friends, and then basketball Friday at 2:30 JV women will play Heston, and then 5 and 7 will be the varsity games versus Avila men's and women's basketball. And again on Saturday baseball, keep an eye on that as well. We'll let you know if there's any changes to it. But as of now, Saturday doubleheader is still on the docket at noon again versus Texas A&M at Texarkana. So next week will be another fun week. Today was fun with Coach Faber. It's always entertaining, a lot of fun. And he literally just texted me a few minutes ago about a story that he wished he had told, and he forgot to tell it, but it was hilarious. So I'm gonna text him back and tell him he can. I'm not gonna share it because I'll let him share it next time he's on. We'll have him on again at some point. So I'll remind him to make sure he tells that next time he's on. But
yes.
It'll be funny.
He's got to tell the stories. We
yeah,
love
he's got
hearing
more.
his stories.
He's got more, so we'll just kind of turn the floor to him next time he's on here. Just let him tell all the stories he wants to tell.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, again, next week we'll be back with you. And don't forget about our Super Bowl pregame show as well. Special podcast next Sunday. And next Friday we'll be with you. Possibly next Thursday, again with baseball going on Friday. We'll let you know again. But we'll be back again definitely at some point next week. So, whose turn is it to pray?
I honestly don't remember. I think it's yours.
I think it is too. We'll
believe
go with
it's yours.
it. I guess that's a good thing that we get in a rhythm and think, okay, is it your turn or my turn?
Yeah.
So, maybe I don't know if that's good or bad. Maybe we'll just take it as a good thing. And go with it. So, all right, let us pray. Lord, we're thankful for today. We're thankful for the blessings you've given us and for who you are. We're thankful for the opportunity to work at a university that puts you first, and his mission is to bring people to you. I'm thankful for Morgan and her family. We pray for them right now as they're going through some tough times with loss of family, but we ask that you give them strength and peace that passes all understanding that only you can give, and we ask that you just keep a protective hand upon them and just bring them closer to you through this. We ask a special blessing upon Coach Faber and his family and what they've meant to us and continue to mean to us here at University. We're thankful for everybody here, all of our student athletes, staff, administration, campus. We're thankful for your blessings upon us. We ask that you keep a protective hand upon us always. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right. Thanks for tuning in today. We will talk to you again next week. Have a great rest of your day and then a great weekend.